will contain foul language, adult themes, and other crazy shit. It's official fucking new radio, and it's time for Knob and the Mutch. Knob and the Mutch. The Mutch. Knob and the Mutch. The Mutch.
Hey, this is Steve Mutch from Into the Coven.
And this is Bob on the motherfucking Knob. Knob and Mutch. 3 hours of global independent metal. Knob and Mutch. Knob's News Corner. Mutch's Music Minute. Knob and the Mutch. And the show starts now. Knob and the Mutch. The Mutch. Knob and the Mutch. The Mutch.
Knob and the Mutch. Where the fuck is the Mutch? No, but seriously, like this week, where the fuck is the Mutch? It's 8 o'clock. The Mutch ain't here. Seriously. I don't know where the fuck he is. Seriously. Usually he gives me a heads up, like he's not gonna be here or something's come up or whatever. 1 hour ago he says getting ready to head out to go to OFNR, do a show at Knob. Log on and listen. Tonight at 8. Well, it's 8, and he ain't here. But it's Knob and the Mutch nevertheless. Greetings and salutations, effing listeners. 8:01 p.m., 11/11/2014. Man, so much shit to get to tonight. So much shit, man. We got so much new music. I'm hoping I can get to it all. If I miss your band tonight, don't take it personally. I will get to it in the coming weeks. We got 3 more weeks of Knob and the Mutch, and then we go on break for the winter. And then, of course, we come back in the new year with more of Knob and the Mutch, potentially. Keep it locked, of course. Got Kevin M.F. King in January as our first guest. More to be scheduled as we get closer to 2015. Alrighty. So, let's see here. We got new music from Scorn, Leverage, which we didn't play last week. We didn't get a chance to. Thea, I Guard the Throne, Divide and Disorder. Brand new music from Eyes of the Dead. Matt's going to be calling in here momentarily, little while. Just a little bit. Got a big show coming up this weekend out at Bleachers. Eyes of the Dead and Continuum both releasing their CDs for your ear pussies. Ear pussies, goddammit! It's going to be a rager. Apostasy, Crown of Scorn, Cyperna. That's right. You can catch Cyperna at the show on Saturday at Bleachers. $5 cover. You better get there early. Place is going to be mobbed. You know OFNR will be out and about. We're not broadcasting. I'm just going as a patron. I'm going to see some metal. Going to have a good night with some of my fucking close friends who I haven't seen in a while because I don't get to go out much. Speaking of close friends, some fucking shitty news in the Connecticut scene today. It's a sad fucking day in the Connecticut metal scene. Even though somebody didn't pass away, even though somebody didn't die, it almost feels like that has occurred. For those who have no fucking clue what the fuck I'm talking about, go to Facebook, go to Dead by Wednesday, and check out the post that they posted there today, about 7 hours ago. I'll read it to you, because it fucking sucks. It's really shitty. Quote from Dead by Wednesday. Quote, they say honesty is the best policy. So we feel as a band that we need to be honest to all our fans and friends who have supported us through all our ups and downs. Now, for those who don't know, let me preface really quick. I've known DB Dubs since 2009. I think it was. Might have been even, 2009, I think it was. We went to Slamfest down in Norwalk. Set up tent there to, be a sponsor. Our tent right next door to fucking Dead by Wednesday's tent. Joe Morbidelli, first person of the band to come over to us, say what's up, and greet us and welcome us with fucking open arms into their tent to partake in their libations at the event, to hang out, to be friends. Dude, from that moment forward, OFNR and Joe Morbidelli have been fucking close friends. Joe has been on our airwaves fucking countless times, man. I have hung out with that dude countless times. Anyway, we are saddened to say, now this is the further quote from Dead by Wednesday, we are saddened to say that after many years of being family, bandmates, and friends, we as a band collectively are forced, out of love and care, to turn our backs and part ways with our singer and brother, Joe Morbidelli. Now, immediately everybody would go, fuck! What the fuck is going on? Unfortunately, and this is further quote from DB Dubs themselves, he unfortunately needs to fix himself before he can take over the world with or without us as a singer. His position may or may not be here for him if he were to completely stop his drug use and drinking, get some legitimate help, and prove to us that he's clean and sober. But he's become too much of a liability for us to continue working with him on a professional level. We cannot have someone in our camp that we cannot trust no matter what happens. We wish him the very best in all our sincerity. And we hope that he can find some peace and become healthy again. We are deeply sorry to all the fans that love Joe as our frontman, but please try and understand the position and circumstances that we have been put in front of us and forced and placed unwillingly on us and out of our control. This band keeps growing, changing, evolving, so stick with us. Love, Opus, Mike, and Joey Concepcion. We're still doing our show for Thanksgiving Eve. Stay positive. We need everyone's support in this trying time. Now, that's all bad. Pretty shitty. The link that they included with it is shittier. A Hamden man by the name of Joe Morbidelli, 27, was arrested this morning on charges of third-degree burglary, second-degree criminal mischief, sixth-degree larceny, possession of narcotics, and illegal possession of narcotics within 1,500 feet of a school. You see, Joe Morbidelli has a fucking illness. And I don't give a fuck if you love him, hate him, are indifferent to the band Dead by Wednesday. I don't give a shit. Joe Morbidelli is one of the fucking coolest, kindest, nicest gentlemen I have ever fucking met. And this is all sincerity. Like, sincerely fucking appreciate that dude. He has done nothing but support OFNR over the years, since 2009, since the very first time we met. He's been to my studio fucking hundreds of times over the years, both as an official guest and as a friend of the band. I've seen him at shows. I have done shows with Joe Morbidelli via the bangarangs that they used to have with him and Christ Have It. And Joe is fucking ill. He's got an illness. And it fucking sucks. It really fucking sucks to have a friend going through such shit. And it sucks even more to know that the guys at Dead by Wednesday, who are truly brothers to Joe Morbidelli, have had to take this business-like stance. Do what is necessary for their business. Because at the end of the day, their band is a fucking business. And they've had to let Joe go. I mean, what could they do? Really? They're in a fucking shitty position, man. But Joe's in an even shittier position. And I'm fucking screaming out to anybody listening to my voice, whether it's live, whether it's on YouTube. If you know somebody with an illness like this, help them any which way you can. The problem is, with an illness like this, addiction, you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, who doesn't think they have an issue. There's been a lot of joke about the 12-step program. But the very first step of the 12-step program is to admit to yourself that there's a fucking problem. I'm not sure if this is rock bottom for Joe Morbidelli. But in a way, I kind of hope that it is. In the sense that once you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere but up to go. Joe Morbidelli, I fucking love you, man. Fucking love you. You're a good motherfucker. And there's some bad shit going on in your life right now. And there's been some bad shit going on in your life for a while. And I haven't seen you in a fucking long fucking time. And now I'm not going to get to see you again for a long fucking time. And it breaks my fucking heart, man. I truly do fucking love you, man. And I truly am saddened, heartbroken, as most of the Connecticut metal scene is tonight. To know that our friend, our brother in the Connecticut metal scene, a good motherfucker, is so ill that he was forced into making some really shitty decisions and got himself caught up in some really bad shit. And I'm sorry, Joe. I'm truly fucking sorry, man. But know that we love you. We at OFNR love you. We in the Connecticut metal scene fucking love you. We're here for you. And anything we can do as friends, as family. Because at the end of the day, once you're in the Connecticut metal family, it truly is a fucking family. It's why OFNR exists. Because of the family. They called me up and said, no, Knob, you gotta stay on the air. You gotta keep doing what you're doing. It breaks my fucking heart, man. And it's kind of cool to see all the people changing their Facebook profile pics to a pic with them and Joe Morbidelli as a fucking sign of solidarity, man. We are behind you, Joe. You made some bad mistakes, dude. We're all fucking human. But it still sucks. And it's still fucking heartbreaking. And I'm so fucking sorry, man. I don't know what else to say. Truly fucking shitty. Moving on. You know what? I can't move on. I can't. It's fucking shitty, man. Truly fucking shitty. So before I go any goddamn further, I've got to play some DB Dubs. I got to play some Dead by Wednesday. I've got to do it. For fucking Joe. It's fucking heartbreaking, man. This is a good close friend of OFNR's who got caught up in some bad shit. And it's really fucking sad. And it breaks my fucking heart. It truly does. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be back right after this fucking song. In fact, I'll do two. One that has some new music from DB Dubs. Death of a Rock Star. Right here on OFNR. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Off the radio, say you get original, they never wanna play you, they'll betray you. Fake back and you, they hit you. Amazing what they say when the fucking music gets you. Nothing is you, come forever near to slay you. You feel you got some problems, stop the milk of different men. You're enslaving, they own every single angle. You burn a gun, you carry back, the underground won't help you. Where's the death of the rock star? All over again. When as soon as I break this, I don't give a shit. Fuck the of it. Watch your pace, please the crowd. 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 I know so much you love for pennies. Calling for this quarter one, but never killing any of this money. What is the victim cause this beauty? Deserving of your precious love and spending of your money. What's the death of the rockstar? All over again. What as soon as I write this, I don't give a shit. Fuck the TV and movies and all that they show me, cause it sure ain't it. What's the death of the rockstar? Over your board, this is all that you get. Watch your pace, please the crowd. 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 Some things some fans don't care for. Some things some bands don't care for. Some things some fans won't care for. Some things some bands won't care for. What's the death of the rockstar? All over again. What as soon as I write this, I don't give a shit. Fuck the TV and movies and all that they show me, cause it sure ain't it. All the lies that they tell me, the strippers still blow, so fuck it, I quit. Hey yo.
Everybody move positive. We no deal with people who move negative. Some of them a move like say them lose them wig. We have to ask what that them a deal with. We sing again.
Jump on my side, jump on my side. Me have to tell them jump on my side. Jump on my side, jump on my side. Me have to tell them jump on my side. Cause bad mind people a try broke your vibe. See them on the road and you have to walk wide. And watch your friend them say them right by your side. And push come to shove you find out say them lied. And me me fake it and I say bonafide. Wolf behind sheep clothing them hide. And them come in a many shape and size. See them and you know them as long as you wise. And same one them no want see we rise. And ooh, jump on my side. Grabbing a pot and them no want we take a slice. But jump on my side.
Everybody move positive. We no deal with people who move negative. Some of them a move like say them lose them wig. We have to ask what that them a deal with. We sing again.
Jump on my side, jump on my side. Me have to tell them jump on my side. Jump on my side, jump on my side. Me have to tell them jump on my side.
Fighting everywhere. Don't serve no purpose. Just let me clear the air. Doing the wrong thing make everyone afraid. When it should be doing the right thing and give Jah enough praise. Everybody move positive. We not deal with people who move negative. Some of them a move like say them lose them wig. We have to answer what that them a deal with. We sing again.
Jump on my side, jump on my side. Me have to tell them jump on my side. Jump on my side, jump on my side. Me have to tell them jump on my side.
Everybody stay positive, you know? Positivity, no negativity.
Everybody move positive. We don't deal with people who move negative. Some of them a move like say them lose them wig. We have to ask what that them a deal with. We sing again.
Jump on my side, jump on my side. We have to tell them jump on my side. Jump on my side, jump on my side. We have to tell them jump on my side. Same one them now want see we rise, but ooh, chop on we side. Grab it a pot and them now want we take a slice, but Lord, chop on we side.
Everybody move positive. We not deal with people who move negative. Some of them a move like say them lose them wig. We have to answer one that them a deal with. We sing again.
Chop on me side, chop on me side. Me up in tell them chop on me side. Chop on me side, chop on me side.
I'll get to some Fear Nuttin'. Hang on a second, though. Got a phone call. Where is that? Let's answer this thing here. Hang on a second. Caller, you're on the air with Official Fucking New Radio. What's up?
Greetings and salutations. It's Matt. Eyes of the Dead.
Matt, Eyes of the Fucking Dead. What's up, my friend?
Nothing. Hanging out. Jamming a little bit. Practicing, you know. We got some big show coming up on Saturday, so.
You do? How come this is the first? How come this is the first I'm hearing of this show?
It's probably not. I'm sure everyone is spamming the shit out of this, and I'm sorry if anyone got offended by the spamming, but yeah, you should go. But yeah. So Saturday at Bleachers, we're playing and releasing a new CD.
I've of course heard of the show. A couple weeks back, I sat down with Continuum for about 2 hours and got like a real good idea of their new record. We played just about all the songs except for I think like one or two. It's fucking brutal as shit. Frank ensured that I grabbed a couple new Eyes tracks. So we're gonna play those in just a little bit.
Excellent. Yeah.
But we've got to chat a little.
We've put them up there.
We got to chat a little bit, man. I mean, obviously, I haven't had an opportunity to talk with you guys. You know, it's kind of nice to have you calling in tonight because we got the big show coming up on Saturday, and everybody and their fucking brother's gonna be there. I mean, no worries there. Anybody who doesn't go is totally lame. So, How was the recording process this time around? I mean, I've heard nothing but fucking phenomenal things. So, from your perspective, how did it go?
It went well. Nice and smooth. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say that I haven't said before yet.
Well, you haven't said it to us,
well, it
so.
was a pleasant experience. Yeah, I know. I dropped the ball. I should have called you guys or done something like this sooner, but.
Yeah. You know, Frank's laid up. There's no fucking excuse, man. He could have totally called. In fact, he was like, I want to call, blah, blah, blah. But being a total douchebag, that never did, you know?
Oh, I mean, you can blame him, you can blame me, you can blame all of us. We dropped the ball. What do you want me to say? But,
nothing. I just like busting balls. You know that. I mean, nothing has changed there. Nothing has changed. In fact,
I know. But I'll point out that I'm an asshole just as much as anyone else will.
Oh, I got you. So obviously, obviously a lot different than the last recording session. You've been working on material for fucking a while, and you know, you guys put out Postmortem Glory, you know, kind of as like a little taste of newer stuff. But how do you rate as far as the new material? You know, because I know you do a lot of the writing, so to speak. How does this...
I wouldn't call it writing. I would call it instigating. And it's about 50-50 with Pat, so... Right.
And,
I mean, the whole band really gets involved with the whole writing process, but, you know, being a guitarist, you write riffs, and we write riffs, and it's about 50-50 for the instigation, I guess you could say, the jumping off point for the songs on the album, and, yeah. I mean, a lot of people say that because I've been here for like 10 years, but I mean, Pat's been here, I think it'll be coming up on 3 years next March. James will be here in 3 years in December, I believe. But everyone is just as involved as the next guy, you know? They're all a member of the family now, especially, so.
Well, yeah, I think you know, from the last time, like, we actually did like a kind of a more serious interview on OFNR, which has never been really done with eyes anyway. We've always had chaos and craziness. But, back a few years ago, it was a different lineup, different scenario, different type of, collaborative effort than it is now. And I think you got, obviously you got Pat. And dude, big kudos to Pat on, going out with Josta and, just shredding things up and doing what he do. Big fucking props out to him, dude. It makes me so happy to see someone like that doing shit like
happy.
that.
It makes me happy. He's like my little brother.
Well, absolutely, but that's what I'm getting at. I mean, it's just fucking cool. It's cool to see local talent, if you will, kind of doing bigger and better things, for themselves and for the scene, for the community, and just seeing someone like Pat, who's a fucking really great guitar player, getting a chance to do something cool like that is really, pretty fucking outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, not to take away from the fact that he worked his ass off. I mean, he was in the right place at the right time, too, but everything just lined up for him.
Well, absolutely.
Not
and look,
to say that it's not a little bit of his own luck he made for himself, too, but I couldn't, who else could you think that could deserve that more? I mean, you could probably name a bunch of other names, too. I'm not saying I'd single anyone out, but, hey, Pat definitely deserves every second of that.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. So, how long did it take for you guys to put the record together, like, in total?
All right. Well, about 2 years, 2 solid years of writing, I'd say. Since James joined, we really started focusing on stuff. And then once Pat came in, about 6 months after James, maybe 4, I don't remember exactly how long after James, we really started hitting it pretty hard. Now, I mean, right when Pat joined, we went and did the Dead Girls recording. So that was all stuff that was kind of already done. Songs we had even been playing before James was in the band were on there, too.
Right.
But once he came in, we really started buckling down on actually trying to work on stuff. And obviously we took our time. It took us 2 years. We wanted to make sure it was the best product possible. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff that had been sitting around for years and honestly didn't sound anything like it does now on that album. And it sounds a million times better with the work that I was able to put in with, or we were able to put in together, to make it what it is today. So, I mean, it was a daily grind. Everyone, a lot of communication, Mondays, practicing, just grinding away, try this, try that, sending files off. It was crazy, but can't be happy with the end result. I think when everyone hears it, they'll know what the hell I'm talking about.
Now, obviously, I mean, you've been part of the band the entire process. You put out other albums before this one. How would you rate this compared to, like, previous stuff? As far as heaviness, as far as, style, growth, that kind of thing.
I don't want to do the cliche thing and say it's the best thing we've ever put out. Everyone does that. What I will say...
So it's the worst thing you put out. We'll go with that route.
Sure, that works too.
So it's the absolute worst thing Isaac that has ever put out, and you got to hear it for yourself. You got to buy it just to hear how terrible it is.
Well, you can go listen to the 3 songs on Reverb too to get a taste.
Right, to get a little, eargasm, and get you rock hard for the show.
But as far as where I would rate it or how I would rate it, I've always been very proud of everything we've put out. There's only one song, which is the title track of the band title track, whatever the hell you want to call it. I hate that song. It's the only song that we've ever done that I hate, and I wrote it.
See, I actually, and you know this, I mean, I've told you this many times, I love that fucking tune. It's so thrashy and fucking, I love it. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and I think that's actually cool, and I'm happy to hear that, but I personally don't. But don't get me wrong. I'd still play it if enough people really wanted to hear it, but it's the problem with especially how much material we have now is how do you pick?
Right.
You want to play everything, and that comes back to I'm proud of everything we've done. But this new material, it's a very good representation of where we've been, where we're going, and where we are. as far as all of us working together and what we all envision as far as wearing our influences on our sleeve, which we are not ashamed of doing. Yeah, it's just really cool. It's a fun listen. I really like the idea that we have behind not just what we tried doing with this was not just the way the songs were from beginning to end and crafting them, but we also put a lot of thought into what order to put them so they float on the album as a whole too. So get a chance to pick up the album, take a listen. It flows in a certain way that we had it go, and I'm very happy with how that turned out.
Well, first of all, there's no way in hell I'm not picking up a copy of the album. I mean, it's just that's not fucking possible. I just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I've got all the others. I gotta have this one too. But that's like the OCD collector in me. I mean, besides the fact that I'm actually like, obviously a fan of Eyes of the Dead and what you guys do and like what you guys have done and all that other shit. But this isn't like an ass kissing type of thing. It's, I truly do fucking like what you guys do because it's the kind of fucking music I'm into. It's that thrashy fucking metal. I don't know what else to fucking call it.
Man.
The fucking smash your face in type shit, and I fucking love it. Obviously,
that's what we try and do too.
Obviously,
we try and keep the adrenaline going.
Yeah, and obviously anybody who went out to Slothfest caught a couple of the new tracks, which, hearing them live for the first time is difficult as a fan because I don't know them. So it's like I don't know where the fucking stops are yet. I don't know where the fucking, I don't know the songs yet. I just, so it's like, fuck, these are new and it's awesome. But, as one of those guys who like loves your tunes and like, like Cannibalistic Slaughter comes on, I just fucking lose my mind. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's still cool to be able to be like, fuck, we just heard some brand new shit. I can't wait to actually hear this. Because, live is always going to be different than, an album like where you actually get a chance to sit down and record. Dexter's Lab, I've heard nothing. I mean, everybody from James, Frank, have said like just amazing kick-ass stuff for Dexter's. And, I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the full-length album. I've got obviously the 3 songs. I'm going to play a little quick snippet here. Check this out. I pulled this off your reverb. Here, hang on a second. Let me see if I can play this.
Hello.
Dude, this is amazing. Fucking amazing.
Well, it sounds like crap, right?
No, I mean, I like it.
Oh, come on. That music sounds like shit.
No, it's just young and hip, so you don't get it, Sharon.
Admit it, Randy. You think it sounds like crap, too.
It doesn't sound like crap at all. I think it's awesome.
I would like to say I would very much like to thank Mammal Sauce for all of that. That was definitely credit to Mammal Sauce on that.
Hell yeah.
And Bill Williams in his loft.
Yeah, man.
Had a lot of fun up there creating that.
No, I actually do have some tracks. I'm going to play them in just a couple minutes here. So you guys got Crown of Scorn, Apostasy, and fucking Cyperna playing with yourselves and Continuum, doing this dual CD thing. Sure. I talked to Continuum about it, like I said a couple weeks back. Why Bleachers? What was the thought process behind doing it there as opposed to one of the other venues in the area?
You mean someplace like Cherry Street that we have deep roots with, or Cooks that we have deep roots with, which would be the 2 other candidates most likely. Originally we were actually shooting for Toads too, but that didn't work out. The dates we wanted we weren't able to get. But as you mentioned before, when we played Slothfest, there's something just about that place. We wanted to try playing somewhere a little different.
Absolutely.
We really liked the place. I don't know. We just wanted a change of scenery, pretty much, I guess you could say. A place that suited us well as, say, Cherry Street or a Cook's. But also at the same time, how many of these metal shows do you see going on at Bleachers? Not as many as you would say at a Cherry Street or a Cook's. So if this does well, like Slothfest did, because I think we were talking with Scotty that does booking there. He was saying how he wants to get more of the heavier stuff in there and this and that. it's a good place to maybe open the door for more of these shows going on there too. So it's another place for other bands to play.
Oh, absolutely. And it's an, as Continuum was saying, there's the grub there is good, the drink prices are reasonable, the fucking atmosphere is cool, the fucking room is set up, just a certain way. The sound is good, and that's no knock against any of those other establishments at Cherry Street or Cook's. Obviously, OFNR's, second home is Cherry Street, just as it is just about any other metalhead in the scene. But I think it's awesome to see a show like this being done at a place like Bleachers, which doesn't get these types of shows. It doesn't get, these types of like monster bills. And anybody who classifies it any other way is retarded, because it's two of the biggest Connecticut metal bands, around, throwing down together, kind of almost like a la, Cyperna Kalima did not very long ago when they released their albums together. And, kind of a form of solidarity, why battle each other? Why have two different shows where people have to be forced to fucking choose? We can just do it together. I mean, it's a fucking the same audience. You know what I mean? So it's cool, man. I think it's awesome that you guys are doing it there.
Yeah.
I like Bleachers. I think it's a cool fucking joint, man. I've been there quite a few times, and Scotty's doing a kick-ass job bringing in bigger name bands there and having good shows and shit. So it's cool. Any surprises? I mean, obviously, I don't want you to give away the fucking don't let the cat out of the bag. But I mean, what kind of surprises might we be in store for on Saturday?
Well, honestly, with us, there's really not much. We're going to basically just play our album and maybe like a couple extra songs. But at the end of the show, I'd say hang out. There might be some cool things in the works that we're trying to do. I mean, if anyone's seen us before at, say, Cherry Street late night, you might have an idea of what would possibly be going on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just hang out. It's gonna be pretty cool. We're putting the finishing touches on it, maybe Friday or something. But we'll see what happens.
Right on. Now, do you guys obviously have the record ready, like for sale that night, hard copy?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And I saw Continuum has got new shirts and a cool poster that all kind of go with the CD. Do you guys have any new merch too, or just the disc?
We got a new shirt design that we're going to have. It's actually being finished up right now, I believe.
Nice.
The disc should actually be in tomorrow. That kind of had to get finished last minute. Which, another thing to take into consideration, like you were saying before, is, hearing the song live for the first time and not knowing it like you've listened to it on a CD before. I was a little upset that we couldn't get the CD, and everything put out on Halloween like we had originally intended, but we decided to hold on some of that money because it takes money to do that stuff and put it into, new merch and the actual CD presentation. So there was a reason why we had to do that, but we figured the 3 songs would be a nice little teaser. So at least 3 songs, you can definitely have that jumping off point when we do play them live. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we try and play as clean as we can live, that it makes sense too. So
right, yeah, right. And again, I mean, it's just different. You know what I mean? No band live. There are a few bands live that can replicate what goes on in a studio. I mean, in a studio, it's perfection. You know what I mean? You get it right because that's what you're paying to do. Like, you pay to get it right. Whereas, when you're live, you guys are a lot more looser. You might do something that you didn't do at the studio, or you might, not do something that you did do, and that's what makes it live. That's what makes it cool.
Yeah, this part's faster, this part's slower.
Sure.
A little hokey sometimes with stuff, improvisation.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, a few weeks back, maybe a month ago or so, I don't even remember what the original conversation was. I think it was about potentially doing like a big show up there at Bleachers, and Scotty had started the conversation. But Dick McPlenty challenged Eyes of the Dead to a rock off. And I mean, as a fan of Tenacious D, I mean, you got to consider that's like a serious fucking thing. I mean, he challenged like,
yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. I'm like practically I am in that band. So is Pat.
I understand, but like, A nasty
challenge
disaster.
myself.
Nasty disaster. Eyes of the Dead rock off. I think this should fucking happen. I'm saying this should fucking go down. I don't give a fuck who wins. But a rock off has been fucking proposed, and when you are challenged to a rock off, you cannot fucking back down. You know, the fucking demon code prevents it.
Well, that's the devil that's bound to the demon code, even though we are worshippers of Satan. No, not really, but
Yeah, but
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me because I feel like I'd have to battle myself. Although that would be kind of cool.
I think that would be fucking. I think
put up like a curtain. I'd have to go behind the curtain and keep changing costumes. Fucked up shit.
Now you're getting crazy. I just want to see fucking Nasty D and Eyes of the Dead go at it. I think that would be
that would rock.
Total rock off.
It would be a rock off.
Dude, it would be a rock off of the ages, man. Just consider it. Is all I'm saying is fucking consider it. Bring it to the guys. I'll bring it to the fucking guys on Saturday myself. This was proposed. I hope Dick McPlenty is coming to the show so I can look, you challenge those motherfuckers. And I know Frank was like, look, it wouldn't be a contest because we'd all just kind of start playing Nasty Disaster song. But that's besides the fucking point. It really
would happen. What do you think we do at practice?
But that's besides the fucking point,
That's why we sound like shit live.
That's besides the goddamn point, damn it. I want to see a rock-off between Eyes and Nasty D.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm not promising anything, but I don't know, maybe...
Could happen.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't promise anything.
Right, but it could I mean, anything is possible. It could happen.
This is true.
Very cool.
Very, very true.
Matt, obviously, I'm super stoked for you guys. I'm glad that, you got a new record coming out. It's been fucking a long time in the works.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work and a lot of money.
Well, and absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize that part of it. You know what I mean? I think, regular consumers may not understand from a, band point of view, like, oh, give me a free fucking CD. No, Dick, it costs us fucking tons of money to do this. Like, buy it. Like, help us out. Like, help us recoup.
That's also why we don't have a ton of merch.
Right.
So.
No, absolutely. And again, it's, you guys are an independent band. You guys are fucking, all got day jobs and shit. And, this shit isn't free. I mean, as much as everybody wants it to be fucking free, it ain't. God damn it. So.
No, it's not.
Everybody should come out on Saturday, obviously, to fucking Bleachers. Come see both Continuum and Eyes throw it down, along with Crown of Scorn, Apostasy, and Cyperna. Both you and Continuum got brand new fucking albums out. Everybody should pick them up. Bring extra cash because there's new merch, there's new discs. Got to buy bands the shots. I mean, somebody's got to buy some shots for you guys. I mean, you're celebrating here.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to twist my arm if you want to put something in front of me. So, yeah. But if you want to buy a disc, I'd rather you buy a disc than buy me a shot, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to do both, but enjoy my music. Enjoy our music. Both of us, Continuum and Eyes of the Dead. If it's down to buying the disc or buying me a shot, buy the damn disc.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Dude, I'll be buying the disc, definitely. There's no fucking question. None. Zero.
Yeah, you can enjoy that longer. A shot, yeah, you're sharing a drink with me, but how about you buy yourself a shot, I'll buy myself a shot with cheers, and then you go buy a disc.
There you go.
All right.
Obviously, I fucked up and missed your fucking 10-year anniversary show. There's no way in hell I'm missing this, man. Unless I'm fucking dead, there's no way in hell I'm missing the show.
Don't make me hold you to that. I will come.
Look,
I will come and kill you.
This is recorded. Fucking gonna be rebroadcast on our YouTube account. People listening, I am fucking giving you my word, Matt. I will not miss this goddamn show.
All right.
If I miss this show, I will put this on the...
We have to bring a taser and taser your balls.
I got it. Well, okay. I mean, I guess. I wasn't going to go with the taser of the nutsack. I was going to say, you guys could teabag me or something.
I like the taser because it's much more amusing.
All right, fine. If I miss this fucking show, and I'm putting this out on the airwaves, people are listening, you guys are our witness. If I miss this show, you guys get to tase me.
In the balls.
In the balls. At Cherry Street.
In the balls.
At Cherry Street Live. At
Cherry Street. Oh my God. Yes, that is happening. Hey, I'm holding you to that.
It's recorded.
I'm gonna have someone tie you down so you don't come, and we get to do that now.
Oh fuck! No. Let's fucking put some rules in place. God damn it!
Oh, there's no rules. You already said it.
Shit. So help me God, if somebody, dude, I will fucking. Oh my God, this bad. But anyway, Matt, it's always a pleasure, man. I fucking truly do enjoy your guys' shit. I'm a fan of Eyes of the Dead.
Hey, man, I know we've been friends for a long time.
And I can't wait for the new record. You know, get my grubby little mitts on that shit. Some of All Your Fears is the name of it. Of the three, I have Recollection, The Ballad of Camp Something or Other, and the Gallery of Something Human Something or Other. Human Atrocity. No, they get like cut off because I only have so much space on my screen. Ballad of Camp Blood. That's it. Yeah, which of those three do you want me to play?
Play Blood. It's a little slower than you're normally used to hearing from us. It's a
ballad?
Hacked by a machete.
It's a ballad?
No. If getting hacked with a machete is a ballad, then that's a ballad.
It's about as close to a ballad as we'll get from Eyes of the Dead, I think.
Well, what's left is the closest you'll get from us. That's just slow and grinding. If you want to see a little bit of a difference, go with that one.
All right.
So you can hear a little bit of the difference from us. But trust me, there's a lot of speed on this album.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Cannot wait till Saturday, my friend. I will see you there. And don't have anybody tie me up, dude. I don't want to get tased in the balls.
All right.
I'll see you on fucking Saturday, Matt. Thanks so much for calling in.
All right, thanks for having me.
I'll talk to you then.
See ya.
Later. It's official fucking new radio. 8:46. Look, I have no idea where the Mutch is. No fucking clue. None. Zero. No clue. He was getting ready about 2 hours ago to come out. Never showed up. I probably should call him at some point. But I've got shit to do. We've got about 10 minutes, give or take, until Wings of Apollo gets on. Jesse Korby returning to the OFNR airwaves. The last time we talked to him, it was 2010. They were just thinking about going to Nashville. Excuse me. Now they're actually in Nashville, earning awards. Pat Graves is on the fucking Gibson website, Facebook page, and shit like that. They've got over 100,000 Facebook followers. So much shit is going to go down. I can't wait to talk to fucking Jesse Korby. Wings of Apollo. That's coming up in just a little bit. But first, if you haven't heard it anywhere else, like, let's say Metal Syndicate or Reverb Nation or any of those other cool places, then at least you get a chance to hear it right here on OFNR. Oh, shit. Somebody's calling. Caller, you're on the air with official fucking new radio. This is Knob. What's up?
Wait, I'm on the air right now?
You are live on the air right this moment.
Oh, I thought I was calling in at 8 o'clock.
Oh, well, yeah, you are. I mean,
my bad.
you are calling in at 8 o'clock, but that's all right, dude. We can do this now. It's not a big to-do. I mean, you know, I can call the boss, which is me.
Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, you're listening to Jesse Korby from Wings of Apollo on OFNR.
Yeah.
With Bob Marino.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How's that?
It's beautiful.
I'm back. Hey, I've actually here, let me get situated. I was calling just to be like I didn't know that we were going to be going like impromptu, but I'm game now.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if you need a couple minutes, I can go to a quick song or whatever. I mean, you know, I'm ready.
No, I'm game. I got a special surprise for you tonight, though.
Oh, is that right?
Because it's not just me. It's also David Martin, the drummer of Wings of
Oh,
Apollo.
shit. David Martin, what's up, bro?
Hey, Bob, how's it going, big man?
It is going fan-fucking-tastic, gentlemen. I am so glad to be talking to you guys tonight. You know, Jesse, I went back and I listened to our original interview. You know, that was in 2010. Dude, you were a senior in college You were just
I know.
You were just talking about potentially maybe thinking about going to Nashville. So much shit has gone on in 4 years, man.
A lot has changed. A lot has changed. Before we switched over to speakerphone. Is this good? Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but it works.
All right, you know what? We've done this before. Hold on. We'll get in an optimum situation. Here we go. Never mind. Sorry. Bear with us, our trusty listeners.
Okay.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we absolutely fucking do.
All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Ready to roll. A lot. I guess a lot has changed, huh? I mean, I remember the day after. I guess it's the day after Halloween when we called. Did you reviewed the old tape?
Yeah, no, it was Halloween night. It was the 31st of October, 2010.
Oh my gosh! Wow. That was okay. Yeah, it's a lot. A lot can change in 4 years. It's one of those things. It's like, man, I was at a drastically different place in life, but now we're I guess the hypothetical aspect of being in Nashville is no longer hypothetical. We're like seasoned veterans here now, Bob.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, there is so much to discuss. Obviously, college went good. Everything was cool there, right? I mean, you graduated. Everything's fine, right? I mean, done with that.
Yeah, all three of us are college graduates.
Outstanding. So those pieces of paper look very pretty on the wall.
Oh, they're looking so good. Yeah, but it is nice. It is nice to. I guess that's not a common thing for rock bands, and it's not necessarily like a hot topic of conversation all the time. But comes up and we'll be like, oh yeah, we did that. I think it ended up being really beneficial for us. We were really prepared. We were prepared for a lot more facets of what we were going to have to do. I think because of that, because it is nowadays it's big business if you want to get into music. So you have to. Unfortunately, you can't just get really good at your instrument and expect it to happen anymore. So I think that it was just sort of the natural way things had to go down in order for us to be able to do what we want.
Oh yeah, well yeah, no. Nowadays you really gotta be business savvy and know so much more than just playing music. You got to know about marketing. You got to know about social networking and social marketing, and the whole fucking gamut of insanity. You guys were actually just won the best rock band and best live rock performance at the NMA Awards. How was that? I mean, that's got to be fucking awesome.
Yeah. David, you want to tell them a little bit about that night and what we wore and how exciting we all were, how excited we all were, and all that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Bob. It was the National Independent Music Awards, the NEMO Awards, and we got nominated for Best Rock Band and Best Live Rock Performance, like you said, and we got invited to this big presentation dinner and everything, and we went out. Pat was wearing some leopard pants, and we were looking pretty fresh, probably the freshest band there, in my opinion. And we were actually getting situated, and I was actually going to the bar to get a drink to relax a little bit, and then the first category they actually ended up doing was Best Rock Band. And so before I knew it, I wasn't even at the table with the guys, they were calling out all the nominees, and we ended up winning. So we were kind of rushed to the stage. We didn't see anybody go up before us. We didn't know if we were supposed to do a speech or anything, but they called our name. We went up there and accepted, and it was awesome. And then we ended up later in the night winning the second award. So we were 2 for 2, and it's helped us a lot here as far as buzz and everything. And hopefully next year we get nominated for some more stuff.
Absolutely. Now,
okay. There's a little bit. There's like a kind of eerie aspect to that story, Bob, if I might share.
Yeah, please.
May I? Okay.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. Well, before that, in our last interview, I guess it was a few years ago, and we were, we were just gearing up to go down to Nashville. And we were young men getting ready to go, go storm the gates of Music City, I guess you'd say. And we were going down there. We were going down there saying that the awards that we won, Best Rock Band, best live show and everything. We were just going down there with the intention of building that reputation for ourselves. And we used to look at this piece of paper by the door that said both of those things for years. So like while we were going and doing our awful jobs, and then all of a sudden, just one day, we found out we were nominated. So it was a big lesson, I guess, the power of intention. And when you set out to do something, you say you're going to do it, and you know that you're going to do it. It was proof for us that when we say we're going to do something, we end up doing it.
Oh, and to me, I mean, obviously, I've been able to, had the pleasure enough to have seen it firsthand. Like, we played the demo of Bourbon Street here on OFNR, and then, talked to Jesse, and then, started playing that record, and then you guys moved to Nashville, and like I'm watching, from the sidelines, like watching, holy shit, really good things are happening for this really outstanding band, and so much great things have gone on. I mean, you guys have like 169,000 Facebook followers or some ridiculous number. Do you guys do this now for a living? Is Wings of Apollo your job?
We're still, it's one of those things where we've been learning a lot from independent bands, so we are still independent, which lends to us still having to do some work outside of it. But with that said, though, it is a lot different than it was, a year ago or even 2 years ago. I think it's one of those things where we want to make sure that we get the right deal, because we do want this to be a long career, that rather than a flashing pop kind of band. So we've drawn a lot of inspiration from people like Macklemore and Lewis, and then and also just looking at the way people run their career, like Dave Matthews Band or Pearl Jam, the way they tour, or the way that Gary Clark Jr., the blues guitar player, the way he became popular. We've been learning a lot and just making sure that we're kind of building our own machine, I guess you could say. So, it's not necessarily what like the traditional aspect of going and getting a record deal and getting big yet for us, but we kind of want to try to do something new, because there's so much opportunity now out there, and the fact that the economy is, I guess, in any industry is global. We're trying to create a new way for that other people that want to make real music can go build their career and be as successful as a big band if they want, but they don't have to necessarily compromise everything about themselves.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about that, because one of the questions I was going to ask you is, there's been a lot of talk about rock and roll and the state of the industry, and Gene Simmons months ago now said rock is dead, and several other musicians, guys from Skid Row recently came out and said people just don't consume the way they used to. 2014 is going to go down in history as the first year ever that no record has went platinum. I mean, that's, to me, insane. It's nuts. I just can't fathom. So it's kind of interesting that you're speaking on the idea of doing something different and paving the way for other bands to follow, because it is different. Even from 4 years ago when we first talked, I mean, everything has changed. The idea of getting these multi-million-dollar record contracts, just not possible. I mean, it's just not even, the idea is just so unfathomable. It's like winning the lottery at this point. So what you guys are doing, I think, is really the smart way to go, in the sense of, kind of staying independent unless that right opportunity comes along and makes sense as a band.
Yeah, totally. David, do you want to talk about the state of rock and roll?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, that was a loaded question. I mean, like we talk about that kind of stuff all the time. So, state of rock and roll.
I think it's actually going to take a turn here, because history always repeats itself, and I think someone who's doing a great job with getting rock in general back into the mainstream and the spotlight is Dave Grohl. With all of Sonic Highways, I'm sure you're familiar with all that going on.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters actually just came to Nashville and played on Halloween at the Ryman Auditorium, and just just them, and there's just so many. The underground movement, I feel like, is like online promotion and people doing it without the major labels and stuff now. Is real music is starting to get popular again, because I think of music festivals as well as something that's booming. So live music, it's not just people who can put out records now. It's like people have to go out and perform, and there's so many opportunities for lesser known bands to get known through music festivals, and rock bands at festivals is that I don't think will ever die. And I mean, the global promotion and everything, I mean, I know Europe would love to see Wings of Apollo and many other rock bands, same with Australia and everything. So I think within the next decade here, I think rock and roll is actually going to have another resurgence. That's what I think is going to happen.
I sure hope so. I mean, obviously, for me, it's a little different because I am one of those. I'm a consumer who is very active in finding new music and discovering bands and continually, keeping myself fresh because I'm just a consumer of music. I've always loved it. I hope that there is a resurgence because there's so many goddamn good rock bands out there. And when I heard Gene Simmons come out and say rock is dead, I laughed to myself hysterically because it's like, Gene, you're totally wrong. Rock in and of itself is not dead. It's just the old ways of doing business are dead. And that's been a long time coming. That's not like it just happened overnight. It's not like we woke up one morning and had digital media. You know what I mean? Like it's been going on and on and on for years. And, the industry kind of fell asleep and kind of almost hoped that it wouldn't happen, but it happened anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your guys' thought on the idea of Taylor Swift recently, came out and said, "Oh, I'm taking my music off Spotify. Music shouldn't be free." Any thoughts on that? I mean, I know you guys do things quite differently being an independent band and kind of get the music out there as much as possible, even if that means giving a couple away for free. I mean, what's the thought process there?
Yeah, that's interesting because it's sort of evolved for us over time. I guess it's sort of a mixed bag for us because there's a way a band can spin it to their advantage, I think. We've our first album we gave away, or I guess I wouldn't say we gave it away. It was on a name your price basis, sort of the way Radiohead did in Rainbows back many years ago. Not many, but you know what I mean.
Many enough, yeah.
They offered their album. Yeah, they offered their album in a way that anyone could get it. So, and I always really liked that idea as a college kid that didn't have any money. I wanted new music all the time, and I knew that I guess as a guy learning how to be in a band, or because we were just in our first year at that time. That was something that I just noticed, okay, well, the fan base is going to show up. They are going to make money. But for a guy like me that wasn't really a big Radiohead fan, I still got that album and checked it out. So it is funny. We've been talking about the Spotify thing, and we're on there right now, but we might not be forever because we offer our album through our website. I guess for all the listeners out there, if they want to just go check us out based on what I just said about the In Rainbows thing, if you go to wingsofapollo.com, you can just get our album and check it out. The reason we wanted things on Spotify was so that people could see us in any avenue. But then if you're going to give people access to the album in the way that we do, you don't necessarily need it to be on Spotify. We'd rather you come check us out in our world, see a little bit more, and then in that same place get to see our live show video and everything like that. So, I understand. I think that people do need to be able to make a living. But it's also a little bit different of a ball game because, a lot of those pop acts, a lot of pop acts that might be hurting from Spotify, they can't necessarily go smoke a live show. But we actually pride ourselves a lot on what we can do live. So, it's one of those things we want people to check us out. And I think that we found a way to, over time, develop a method of having our cake and eating it too. Because really we want people to come enjoy it, and most of all, we want people to come out and see us play.
Absolutely, and I would love to do that sometime. It's going to happen one of these days. I'll get the opportunity to finally see you guys play live. Now, Jesse, I don't think I ever asked you this way back when. I did go back and re-listen to that interview, and I've been asking it to just about everybody as far as bands that I go, and David, you can answer too. If Wings of Apollo now could go out on tour with any band, dead or alive, who does Wings of Apollo go out on tour with?
We're going dead or alive here.
Yeah,
I kind of want. I kind of want to pick alive right now. Just there. See, the thing is, it's like there's this resurgence of rock and roll and of just great musicians. So you know, we want to give love to the people that we love. So I mean, for me, I think my vote's Gary Clark Jr. I don't know. There's a lot of people that aren't familiar with him yet, which is weird to me because he's awesome and he's a Grammy winner. But he's this guy from Austin. He's a blues guitar player and he's an unbelievable singer. So my vote would probably be my vote would have to be Gary Clark Jr. David, who would you?
Well, if Robert Plant had accepted the $800 million offer, it'd be really cool to open for Led Zeppelin, kind of, you know, open for the legendary band that we all grew up with. That would be a pretty cool thing to do. But
I heard that was all bullshit too. By the way,
about that.
I've heard that. I think he came out and Robert Plant has come out and said that never happened. That $800 million. Could you imagine though? Like,
oh really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I heard that the ripping up the contract was fabricated, but maybe the deal. I think that the deal points were. Oh wow. Or maybe I'm wrong. I thought the figure was $800 million though.
To me, it's mind blowing because I'll take one of those 800, but that's that's just maybe.
Yeah,
just me.
You're flirting with $1 billion there. Like that's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's why you kind of got to take it with it. I mean, that's a lot of money to just be like, nope, not gonna happen. So now one of the things I found really fucking cool is your bass player Pat has been featured in Gibson statuses on Facebook. He was on their fucking website. Does it get really much better than that? I mean, that's some huge recognition, right? I mean, that's got to be pretty fucking awesome. And I know Pat's not there to speak for himself, but I mean, that's got to be pretty fucking cool.
Well, I think it is, and it doesn't get much better than that. I know that I can just. I've got a little bit of an inkling in my imagination of how it could even be slightly improved, and it's that Pat really enjoys playing Gibson basses and would like to maybe make that relationship official.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that would be pretty damn cool. And Gibson,
it's like they're already. They're already putting his face out there, so it's just like look at that handsome devil with that mustache there, and it's like the curly Q mustache with that those curly hooks on the SG bass. It's like it's perfection. It's like a match made in heaven between instrument and man. So it's like I don't know. They just need to give that a little bit of a nudge, and then I think I don't know. I think that's the kind of thing dreams are made of. I can't really picture anybody else playing that bass better than Pat.
Yeah, I when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. This is insane. Like, for me as a fan, it's like, God damn it. Here's another example of just how cool these guys actually are and what cool things they're doing. And you guys do have a brand new album out, relatively new, called By Force. Everybody should go pick it up. Very cool. I love it. It was neat the way you guys did it too. You kind of like gave a song, let us listen to it. Gave a song, let us listen to it. And then the whole thing kind of like, was put out together collectively. But it was cool, like, because each week it was something to look forward to. It's like, all right, cool, there's another song coming out from Wings, like, I got to go check this out and, like, tell all my friends, like, check it out, I think it was the smart way to go, and I think other bands ought to consider doing something like that. It's kind of the way of the future, putting out singles slowly instead of putting out full lengths. There was some talk about that too, and we can kind of go back to that. I think it was the guys from Skid Row who said, people don't have time to listen to a full length album anymore. And I don't know if it's that they don't have time. It's more like they have people have ADD real bad.
I also just don't think people are really putting out good full-length albums.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. Well, there's totally that. That's a problem.
The part of the problem is, I guess there's this ebb and flow and a balance of power that goes back and forth of like artists having more control than the suits having more control, and it's like it's nothing to like. I'm not like anti-business or anything. It's just that I just know that from the behind the scenes of being a band in Nashville, you hear a lot about. You just hear you're talking to a business person or something like that who seems to be more in control, and they'll be saying like, oh well, we need the single. So I think that's been created. Like that culture has been created by the balance of power being a little bit more askew on the business end at this moment, and they're just saying they want singles. So if you're in a band, it forces you to if you want to be going that route, and there aren't very many options if you want to be having a professional performing career, that you do need to have something that's a radio single. Excuse me. Now, with that said, like we're fans of bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Beatles and stuff like that. So we're not necessarily like it's not like on purpose to write songs that sound like singles. They just a lot of our songs tend to have a pop quality to them. And then, it's good for us because it makes it so that when we release the 5-song EP, it kind of made it so that we could just release it sort of as singles. But it wasn't necessarily intentional. That's just sort of how we naturally make music.
Yeah, no, and again, intentional or not, I think it was cool because it allowed, as a fan, just from the outside to you guys, as a fan of Wings of Apollo, it allowed me to build anticipation each time, like, oh shit, there's a new song out. What's the next one gonna be like? What like when is it gonna come out? Like I want to hear it. Like I want to hear the whole goddamn thing now. And it builds this it builds this anticipation for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And it was cool. It was I thought it was really awesome the way you guys did that intentionally or not. And of course the whole thing goes together really well. But it was cool the way it kind of came out to us as consumers in this kind of one by one, build the anticipation, release, and then kind of give out the whole kit and caboodle as a finished product. And I think that's really the way of the future. I had read an article not too long ago, maybe a few months ago now, that people don't even listen to, like in the pop world, as a for instance, 30 seconds of a song and they're skipping to the next one on their iPod. It's a good way to kind of keep in people's purview, kind of continually keep on their minds. You know what I mean? Like instead of releasing an album and then being away for 6 months or a year or 2 years, you're putting out music kind of on a regular kind of a basis. And it's just cool. I think it's the right strategy. I encourage you to continue doing so.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're thinking towards the future right now and trying to don't have any set plans or anything, but we're trying to. We really love recording, but then we really love playing live shows, and we enjoy the growth that you experience from continually exploring music. So we're trying. I alluded back to be doing things a little bit different than other acts, and trying to find out what the new thing can be for people in the music industry. So we're just entertaining different ideas right now of how to go about getting to put out as much music as we can, and not do that thing of let's tour for 2 years and then take 2 years off, and then break our backs on the road for 2 more years and then take 2 years off and then record another album like 4 years later or something like that. It's just like we put together material extremely fast, and then we also get better extremely fast. So it's something we're trying to almost like we're perfecting our golf swing, or our pitching form or something like that. Like we know that we're not necessarily going to be textbook. We're going to be like Tim Lincecum from the San Francisco Giants or something. It's going to look a little different, but it's going to get it done.
Yeah, and you kind of have to do that in today's music industry. You got to set yourself apart from other bands. And what better way to do that than to explore different things? And I mean, you guys have always kind of been that way anyway. Even on your first record, you know, every song was different, but it had a sound, but you could feel and hear a lot of the influences and things like that. You know, and it was such a great album, you know, and the new one is too, you know, don't mistake what I'm saying. It's just, it's cool because you guys do pull from a lot of different places, but have a Wings of Apollo sound that, you know, that comes out. Now, what about this one? What about if I were to say, let's say I gave you guys an MP3 player, right? And you guys get it for a month, and you have to give it back to me, and you cannot delete any songs off of it. What guilty pleasures might I find on there that you might not want people to know that you're listening to, but you're gonna tell us here on OFNR?
I want David to take it away.
Poor Jesse. I think Jesse would have a little bit of the new Ariana Grande. I think Jesse has a little bit of a crush on Ariana Grande, and we actually went on a binge of watching pop music videos one night, and we're just laughing our asses off at just the ridiculousness of what has become of the pop world. But I don't know. I don't know if Jesse actually really listens to Ariana Grande religiously upstairs in his room, but
in all seriousness, she does have a great voice.
Yeah, she does have a great voice, and I would say my guilty pleasure, I said this in another interview, is Katy Perry. The production and stuff on her stuff is just like a soothing to the ears. I don't know what it is, something about her voice and everything. I could listen to some Katy Perry, some Roar, get me pumped up, before the show or something.
Sure.
When I was singing in the shower, and I guess this is definitely the definition of guilty pleasure. And you brought up Taylor Swift, and it's sort of serendipitous for the day because I've been singing that song that does the I'm not even I can't even really sing back any of it. I just know that I like the video. I like her new haircut. I think it's very cute, and her vocals are very good. We share a common lineage of our vocal coaching. So way to go, Taylor. The vocals sound great.
Right. No, and and every band's kind of got a I've asked that to a bunch of different bands, and you'd be surprised some of the stuff that comes out. And you're like, oh wow, you wouldn't consider. Especially some of these heavier bands that I get to talk to, they come out with some really crazy stuff, and it's like, holy crap, I wouldn't consider you guys to listen to whatever, pop tune or whatever. So now, let's talk, because obviously it's been quite a while since we've actually had a chance to speak. Best show ever, worst show ever.
All right. Worst show was the Muse.
The Muse,
by far.
Oh yeah.
Right. We played the Muse. It's just this venue in Nashville. It was very, very close to the beginning of the Nashville chapter, and just nobody showed up. The sound guy left.
Oh my god.
The sound guy literally just left.
Wow.
It was one of those bad luck nights where if you name it, it could go. Probably as bad as it possible.
Yeah, the other bands that were playing that night, we were playing last. They all left. They didn't even wait to see our show, so we were literally playing not even a sound guy. We didn't even have a sound guy.
Oh
we were
wow!
Playing out there in Nashville, nobody's, and it was not the best feeling.
They were streaming it though, so Pat's brother got to watch it online. That was the worst one. There's been a lot of really good ones though, and it's in recent memory they've all been very different because it's just I guess we've gotten much more comfortable of kind of letting the subliminal aspect of creativity take over and let songs change. I never understood how he did it when I was younger, how Jimi Hendrix would just get up and the songs would sound different every time. But now I'm starting to realize it's you become comfortable with the material, and then you just have new ideas in the moment. You just kind of go with them. But I think maybe the best show in recent memory, probably Rock and Roll Hotel in Washington D.C. in September, which has video evidence online for all to enjoy.
And everybody should go check that out, of course, at wingsofapollo.com.
Absolutely. Yeah, but
Also, another one of my favorite shows was last year. We opened for a band, Blackstone Cherry. It was at Exodus, which is one of my favorite venues here to play in Nashville. It's a very famous rock venue, and it ended up being sold out. So there's a little over 500 people there, and just being able to play in a club setting where it's sold out like that to pretty much a whole crowd that didn't know who we were, and kind of winning the crowd over with a half-hour set was kind of very, very exciting. And we sold a lot of merchandise that night, and it was just definitely a memorable night in the band's history, I think.
You know, we came out screaming at the audience, and then they matched our energy level. So we had never really done that before, but it was a packed house, and Blackstone Cherry is a big band, so it was like, well, we definitely want to be the opening band that gives them somebody to play to. So came out like screaming war cries to everyone, and then I don't know, they were just. I first thought we were all wearing red in some way, so it was like a visceral kind of like engaging to the nervous system kind of experience, and everyone freaked out. So that was probably the most like just chaotic. I mean, it was good. Like we played at a high level, but as far as like the audience all acting like maniacs, that was probably the highest energy crowd.
That's awesome. That's totally rad. I mean,
yeah, real fun.
And I can't even imagine, 500 people doesn't sound like a whole lot, when you're thinking about some of these monster bands who play to like millions. But to an independent band, 500's that's a pretty good sized fucking crowd. You know what I mean? That's a good time right there.
That's a lot of beating hearts in one building.
Oh, absolutely, and to, like you guys said, to win them over, I think is outstanding. Jesse, I don't know if I ever asked, why do you wear the headdress? I don't know if we talked about that the last time. I'm not sure, but I have to ask. I got to ask the question.
Yeah, the last time we had talked, it was an idea. That was, I had never done it before. So I think the first show I ever did it at was January 7th, 2010, and it came, that's actually, it's interesting that you bring it up, because that idea kind of manifested around then. And I've got a whole explanation written up in depth, but I guess to give like a brief synopsis, which is like, I'll try to be as concise as possible. But I was at sorry, I'm getting talk back in the phone, but I was at Florida State, obviously, in Tallahassee, and a thing that happens in Tallahassee that I learned is that from the Seminole War, the Seminoles were the only unconquered indigenous tribe in the United States. I basically stayed for a long bit of time on a sacred burial ground by accident, and some unusual things started happening. And then I looked, in the grand scheme of my life, it made a lot more sense. I'm still kind of piecing it together, but I guess as far as its origins, they're more in the metaphysical, I guess you could say. So then around that time, I started getting into transcendental meditation, started having some unusual experiences with that. And also around that time, very, very, very elementary level of studying shamanism. So at that it obviously it grows forth from that. So I guess just not that I don't necessarily look at it as something I immediately want to defend myself on all the time, but I have spoken with people that have brought to my attention why culturally this can be offensive to people and things like that. So I guess just in my own explanation, I am absolutely deeply, deeply respectful to all of the indigenous tribes of the United States, and I wear it as a tribute, but it is also something that's sort of I guess a part of my identity, and it sort of stems from how I view where the music comes from and how the nature of creativity manifests itself through a musician. So I guess I hope that's about as concise as I can be. But I'm very interested in the idea of music being an exercise in which you can experiment with human consciousness, and if anyone's really interested I do have it posted up as in an open letter to Native Americans on our website. If you want the full lowdown of the front to back. It's a very, very detailed story about why I do it. But to sum it all up, I think that when Nikola Tesla said, "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration," that has a lot to do with what inspires me musically and ties into that imagery.
Well, yeah, and absolutely, and at the end of the day, when you put those three things together, Nikola Tesla was a fucking genius. You know what I mean? When you think about it, when you really like dig deep and go, whoa, wait a minute, there is some serious, I'm not one to go to the, religious aspects, but there's some very spiritual things there that are happening. And I don't care how religious or anti-religious or whatever you feel. I mean, we all kind of have to be able to agree, like there are some serious otherworldly things that go on in our lives that happen to us or with us or because of us. And creating and creativity is one of those items that it oftentimes comes from quote unquote nowhere. But once you start getting into, TM and this, this spiritual journey and it becomes a lot clearer. Like it doesn't come from nowhere. There's work at play here that, there's things at play here that are beyond our understanding, but by trying to enlighten ourselves, and become higher beings, enlightened minds, we can kind of discover ways to express that. So I think it's cool. I think it looks awesome, by the way. And the new pictures you get.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things I did. It's obviously it's a very, very striking visual. And I think that's what people find inspiring. I think that's what it gets a strong reaction regardless, and I think that's why some people have a strong emotional reaction that isn't necessarily in my favor, which is fine. I guess you could say it brings attention to people to see things the physical way, but then also we're playing music, which is a non-physical thing. So anytime that discussion gets brought up, I welcome it because I think it's important to talk about this kind of thing because we focus on the physical aspects of our lives so much, especially in the Western Hemisphere, and I think it's very important to see all sides of things. So when talking about science or spirituality, a lot, especially to bring up the Western Hemisphere, we tend to look at those things as black and whites that are divided against one another, and I think as time goes on, maybe even in this lifetime, we're going to start seeing those two things as something that not only coexist, but it's we choose different words to describe different things, but I think that they're actually two things that on a long enough timeline kind of join together as one thing.
Well, it's crazy because even the Pope recently just came out and said something very similar to that, as far as, the Big Bang Theory and religion can coexist. They're not, exclusive in and of themselves, and so it's, I think you're right. I think you're very right in the sense that, people are starting to realize that it is not black and white, much like the scale of autism is on a scale. These types of things also are on a scale. There's it's not so rigid that it's like it is either this or this. No, they can all kind of coexist if you really put your fucking mind to it and go, whoa, wait a minute, there's something to be said for that. So I think it's really cool. And obviously, your new pictures look awesome. I mean, everything you guys are doing is super cool. I'm a huge fan of Wings of Apollo. It's so cool to catch up and talk to you guys again. What things do you guys got planned for the new year? I mean, because obviously we're winding things down now. Anything in store for the new year that we could anticipate?
As of right now, we can tell them about the next projects. Yeah. New music is coming. Like I said, we want to keep putting it out, and there's material already written. So it's just a matter of getting it sharpening the sword a little bit more, and then we're shooting tentatively to be recording by February. I think there's something to be said for when you say give yourself a deadline. It tends to make it a little bit more real world. So we're looking to record hopefully February, and that's we're going to be doing. I guess should I give them? I guess I can give them the title. Yeah, we're going to call it "From Another Mother," and it's sort of our foray. Obviously, it's going to have the standard Wings of Apollo charm at this point, but we've been really getting into we've always loved R&B and Motown and things like that, and we wanted to have an opportunity to show our soul side while also expanding on our interest in world music. So it's going to be some earthy, very grounded, earthy, but still expand. We do like to make colorful, expansive music. So a lot of what people like as far as the way the drums, bass, and guitar has been approached in the past will still be present. It's just with new colors and new flavors, and especially I think I'm looking to explore new things vocally. So which tends to lend the most to a style of music. So we're gonna call it From Another Mother, and hopefully release it sometime next spring in 2015.
Right on. Now, when you talk about recording, do you guys do your own recording, or are you going to go to a studio to record, or what's the plan there?
Right now, I'm not really sure. We have a couple of studios in mind that we really like, but there's also let's see. It sort of depends on what we get our hands on. There's a couple of things that we want to pursue equipment wise, and as I was talking about, like how we're in a new type of music industry, so you can align with companies and everything like that. So if we and I guess the way that the technology is advanced for recording, some of the digital, if anyone's a gearhead out there, things like that are listening, like a lot of the digital plugins and that type of technology in some ways surpasses the old equipment. So as much as a heresy as that should sound like, giving things side by side comparison, sometimes a Neve plugin can sound just as good as an actual Neve port. So depending on if we were able to get access to certain things, we might try doing something a little bit more experimental with the method of recording. So what I'm saying is you can with the right tools record in a house and have it sound like you're in Blackbird Studio.
Sure. Now, what about like by force? What did you guys go somewhere and do that, or?
Yeah, that was in a studio. That was in a small studio in Madison, Tennessee. So, gotcha. But the thing is, with the way that we did that was a lot of pretty basic recording equipment. But it was the way we mic'd things, or like all that was live recording. None of that was to a click track. But we, which we're going to try out some new things. Also, just our approach to recording on new things. But it was recorded on some pretty basic equipment, and a lot of the new digital technology made it so that it sounded like we had done it in like we had done it at House of Blues or something like that. So. Yeah, but it wasn't a studio. It was just on some basic stuff, and we tried out a lot of the new stuff that bands have access to now. And for anyone that's in a band listening, I would really, I'd highly suggest, having an open mind about trying some of those things out. Because if you use them the right way, it really does sound. It sounds just like you're in $1 million studio with like $1 million soundboard.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, and that's the thing. I mean, I think that because it's so readily available, and because there are those, much like anything else, there are those who will abuse the ever-loving shit out of this technology, it shouldn't dissuade bands from utilizing, the technology. Technology is there as a benefit, even though sometimes, you'll find some bands will take it to the extreme and really, when you go to see them live, it doesn't sound anything like their record. I think, obviously I'm a huge kind of gear kind of dude. I mean, I don't have a whole bunch, but I love looking at it. If I had the money, I'd buy it. But, obviously I'm one for the tech age to a point, you know what I mean? I also love going to, like, you know, around here we have a place called Up Recording Studios. He does everything old school, analog. You know, he doesn't really use a whole lot of computer technology. And it's cool because, you know, the records that come out of his studio sound way different than the records that come out of, you know, a different studio that uses more of the Pro Tools of, you know, stuff, or might use, you know, some of these plugins or VSTs, you know, the virtual instruments and stuff like that. It's a different sound, but nonetheless, you know, there's no harm in it. And I think nowadays, especially, you know, with technology being as cheap as it is, with the equipment being relatively inexpensive, I mean, you can get a pretty good setup for kind of short money. And whether or not, you know, you put out like, okay, this is our finished product or not, it's kind of beneficial to have the ability to set up, you know, practice space with that stuff, like with the gear to record, just for the sake of being able to like get it down on a medium and review it and like listen to it and critique it and talk about it and like, hey, you know, I kind of don't really like when you do that, or, you know, I really love this part, or, you know, and pull it apart and make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's really good that some of that stuff is progressing, because I personally love the sound of analog equipment. But you know, if you're a high school kid right now listening, listening to guys like us saying, you know, rock and roll is going to come back, and, you know, so get to work, because you know, when you're 23 and 24, you could be invited to the party. You know, those kids might not have access to be able to use a reel-to-reel tape machine and an analog soundboard, though. So it's like, you know, but you gotta start honing the craft when you know, and learning the craft as young as you can. So I think it's a good thing that there is access to that stuff, because a young kid could get like a MacBook Pro and Pro Tools, obviously, and then a good bundle of plugins, and then they could get to work on making stuff that is radio quality, and it would be, you know, they could do it for less than $5,000. So I think it's cool. It gives an opportunity for lots of good bands, if they're willing to work for it. Gives an opportunity for a lot of a good new band to come out maybe in the next 10 to 15 years.
Absolutely. And you know, again, it's about evolving, you know. I think the reason the music industry is in the state that it's in now is because they refused to believe that evolution was coming. And because of that, they only punish themselves, they only hurt themselves. And, you know, I come from both schools, you know. I mean, I'm a huge physical guy, you know. In other words, I love to buy albums. Like, I actually love to buy, you know, a CD and open it up and get the artwork and all that fun stuff. But in the same breath, I mean, I own an internet radio station. I can't be against technology. It just kind of stinks, though, because, you know, I mean, my first job growing up was in a record store. Like, you know, I actually sold records, you know, and there was something to be said for new release day and for people coming out and consuming media differently, you know. And I don't know how many times, and I've said this to other bands, I don't know how many times I was working the store and going up and down the aisles, and you see an album that just looks cool. You don't know anything about the album. You don't know anything about the artist. You know nothing about the band. But the album looks really fucking cool, and you buy it because it looks really fucking, and then you put it in, and you're like, holy shit, this is really good. Or maybe not. I mean, sometimes, you know, you don't always get lucky, but a lot of times I pick up a record, and like, just because the album art looked cool, I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty damn good. And then I became a fan of the band because of it, because their album cover was, you know, cool. And yeah, you know, I kind of feel bad for my children in the sense that they aren't going to be able to experience that sort of thing where they go in to a record store maybe to buy something specific, and then while browsing find that other thing that might be totally off their radar, but they picked it up because it looked cool. You know, it's a lot different now. It's, you know, everything's digital, and you don't even really get album art anymore. You know, it's not the same. You know, you get a PDF. That's not right. But it is what it is. I mean, you know, you can't put the cat back in the bag now. We can't turn around and say, well, we're not going to do digital music anymore. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's too late for that. You know, we can't turn the ship. We've already hit the iceberg, goddammit, and we're going down. There's nothing we could do.
Yeah, I guess I guess the trade-off is though, like, you know, you don't get to have necessarily that level of exploration, like finding an album, but the trade-off is like how many people really got to see bands live, like a lot, you know, be able to see what bands looked like live, playing live before going and seeing their show.
Totally.
Or otherwise they would have had to buy a video or watch MTV or something. In this case, like, you can just hear a band word of mouth, just that, like, you're a kid at school or your friends are out at a bar or something, and you can just hear a name and then look it up, and then all of a sudden you see them in their concert. So it's like there's some ways that that it's opened up, and it's like the opportunity's there. It just needs to, you know, a new culture around enjoying music just has to be, you know, have people be open to it. But for everything that's taken away from the way it used to be, there's been a lot, you know, given to us that are cool opportunities that make it so somebody can become a fan of a band, which is nice for us, or if you are a fan, it makes it so that you can have a ton of choice as to what you want to actually spend your time and money on.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, and the other thing, you know, and again, this is where, you know, my conflict kind of happens for me, at least, you know, because I own the internet radio station. I get to hear bands from across the pond. You know, I get bands from Germany and Italy and Russia and all these crazy places that I probably wouldn't have ever even considered of knowing. You know, maybe they would have mailed me a disc, maybe. But now it's like, you know, I mean, I get music submissions all the time from, you know, overseas. You know, I got friends in Finland and stuff like that. And, you know, they'll release something to me first before they even release it in their own country. And it's so surreal and so wild. And like, that wouldn't have never been possible without this innovation and technology. So like, I totally hear what you're saying. There's pluses and minuses. You know, you get exposed to things that you wouldn't have this way, as opposed to, you know, like I used to buy records because I saw something cool. Now it's, well, I get to meet up with these bands, you know, just by being a music consumer that's active, you know, and there is something to be said for that. You know, you kind of have to, nowadays, you kind of have to be an active music consumer. You can't just sit back and expect the radio stations to give you good quality stuff. You kind of have to go out on your own and, you know, the Spotify's, the Pandora's, the, you know, internet radio, the, you know, whatever, are great ways to do that. But you got to be proactive. You can't just sit back and like expect somebody to hand you, here's the newest, greatest, coolest thing. You kind of have to go out and do it yourself.
Yeah, it's just a brand new. I think the culture is still being developed. You know, there has to be a culture around it. You know, for I guess that's pop culture. So I guess that aspect of pop culture is developing, and you know, I wish I had the answer, but at the same time, it is fun kind of being part of the Wild West and
Totally.
And going and trying to rob a train.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know, and again, you guys have really been able to be on the very cusp of this, you know, because again, 4 years ago when we first spoke, it was a lot different. Even then, even 4 years ago was such a different landscape as far as music goes. I don't even think anybody really realized how much it was going to change. And, you know, iPhones and things have changed everything. It's just, you know, it's nuts. It's truly insane. Anyhow,
yeah, it's like we're in the Jetsons.
Yeah, no, totally. And you know, it's crazy because when you say that, I saw a meme going around not too long ago where it was like an old Radio Shack ad, and like on the page it had like camera and a recorder and all these like, you know, in the ad it was like just a whole slew of different things, like one page of Radio Shack stuff, and then the very next panel of the meme was an iPhone. And it's just the iPhone, and it had all those things, the computer, the camera, it's nuts. And that was not very long ago that this all kind of happened. You know what I mean? It was, you know, probably more than 4 years ago, but still, you know, every day is something different. You know, iPads and smart devices, man. We didn't think of that stuff 10 years ago. Nobody knew that this kind of stuff was going to happen, you know? It's crazy. It's totally the Jetsons.
Yeah, it's really, really wild.
Totally the Jetsons.
I'm still getting my head around it.
Yeah, and you know, and the thing is, as soon as you do get your head around it, it'll have evolved.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have like hologram like Princess Leia projection soon.
Well, I mean, they do it. I mean, Tupac, right? They did the projection of Tupac.
Oh yeah, they did do that. I was just thinking in terms of like if I could like send my R2D2 to somebody's house to like have that kind of thing, like have it.
You are the only hope.
Like I'm on the phone and I'm a hologram to you while I'm on the phone.
Yeah, dude, it's totally possible. Totally possible. I mean, at this point, I'll believe anything because I've kind of seen it firsthand and all that. But anyway, I do want to thank you guys so much. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I did want to discuss really quickly. I think you guys need to send me a really small T-shirt for my son.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
If you guys remember,
yeah, we do. I guess we do have those sizes available. I guess, yeah. No problem. Absolutely.
If you guys remember, I sent you over that video a while back now of him totally like digging on Bourbon Street and Hold On to Saturday. I mean, he really, like, all honesty, like, I didn't tell him that you should listen to this, whatever. We just kind of had it on in the car because it's music that we can all listen to and enjoy. It's not totally crazy death metal or anything like that. It's got a style and flair that goes from the youngest of the young to the oldest of the old. Everybody can kind of enjoy it. But I just kind of had to bust your guys' balls a little bit about it because I thought it was funny. And if you do send it, he will wear the ever-loving hell out of it.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. I hope he likes the new stuff.
I actually got to burn it to a disc and get it in the car because we listen to a lot of.
Okay.
I listen to a lot of.
Well, man, I mean that's one critique I'm going to be on pins and needles about. we know that demographic is the future for us.
Yeah, and he's 4 and he actually loves listening to new stuff and new bands and because I'm so into it. It goes down, right down to him, and he wants to be into that kind of stuff too. And it's cool, I think it's really neat that he was so taken by, the whole album. Like he knew it front to back. He knew what song was what. I mean, I'd put on something. No, Dad, that's not the right one. And it's like, shit, man, you're a pretty smart kid to know like these tunes, and it's cool that you're into like independent bands like Wings of Apollo and. It just was a proud dad moment. Like, oh man, this kid is totally going to grow up knowing, how cool music is, because it's so important to me that I teach my children how important that stuff is because I feel like, we are kind of in this weird transition, wild, wild west stage where if you ask certain people, music isn't really as important as it once was to them. For me, it's vital. It's one of those things I got to have in my life, So I just want to make sure that like my kids have that sort of like, when you're dealing with something, if you're pissed off, there's music for that. If you're sad, there's music for that. If you're happy, there's music for that. If you want to be any of those things, there's music for that. There's a way to to reach somebody else, who's doing these cool things, making awesome music. And emoting through not just your words, but like the tunes, the music itself emotes. There's something behind that like, oh my god, like damn, did you hear that guitar? Shit, it's awesome. I don't know. It's so I just wanted to kind of like address it and let you guys know that not only am I a fan, my kids are fans, and I know there's tons of people
awesome.
that love you guys, and I really cannot say enough. Awesome, good things about Wings of Apollo. I've been a fan for years. I'm going to continue being a fan. I am on pins and needles for the new stuff. I can't wait to hear it. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Any other things that you need people to know? I mean, obviously everybody should go to wingsofapollo.com, check that out. Get the new record, get the new stuff. Learn more about the band, find out all about your headdress.
Yeah, I was like, man, that just about covers it all. I think. I mean,
that's it too.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, like I said, it's name your price. So it's like if you want to, if you want to come, if you want to see what's going on in Nashville, it's like there's no excuse. You can come check us out. So
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, check out the album, see us online playing live, and find out about all the fun backstories.
Absolutely.
I think you said it all.
Now, before I let you go, there was one other question. any local bands that you guys have come across in your traverses, playing that you're like, holy crap, these guys are really good?
I think we definitely got to give love to Roots of Rebellion.
Yeah, we're really we've become friends with this reggae band in town called Roots of a Rebellion. And it's a group of 6 guys, a very diverse group. They're all very, very solid players, great message, great musicians, and they've been touring around. So definitely check them out if you get a chance. I know their new album, Artifact, is up on Spotify now and everything, and they just did a big Florida tour for 3 weeks. Yeah, they're one of the most high-energy, positive bands we've found down here that we can really relate with, and I think we'll be playing a couple of shows with them in 2015.
Cool.
So they're really great. And then there's another band I really just thought was awesome called the Poor Boys, because their singer's he's sort of like a tattooed up Steven Tyler. He's crazy. It was just being that show, I don't really get blown away by just like straight up rock bands a whole lot, but I love these guys. And we only played one show with them and met them one night, but yeah, there's somebody that if you're into rock and roll bands, you should check out the Poor Boys from Nashville, because they're awesome.
Kick ass. I will definitely check out both of those bands for sure. All right, guys. Well, look, thank you guys so very much for calling in, Jesse and David from Wings of Apollo. You guys are, headed for awesome things. You guys have done some pretty sick things since the last time we talked, and winning awards and, doing what you guys do. And God damn it, you guys are an awesome, awesome band. So I'm just so stoked to be able to talk to you guys again and catch up and when you got your new record ready, let's chat again.
You got it. That's a deal.
Absolutely, Bob. Thank you so much for reaching out. Always good to hear from you. Always good to talk to you.
Hey, thank you guys so very much. I'm going to play some tunes. Is there anything you want me to play off the brand new album by Force?
I'm thinking the title track, either the title track by Force or The Water.
How about we do both and we do like a little 2 for Tuesday kind of thing?
I think that's a perfect idea.
Isn't that nice? All right, guys. Well, hey, look, thank you guys again so much for checking in and catching up, and everybody should check out Wings of Apollo. You guys are a phenomenal band, and keep doing what you do. I mean, I expect nothing but amazing things coming out of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, take care, Bob.
Take it easy, guys. There you go. Official fucking new radio. Holy hell. Wings of Apollo. I mean, seriously, man. I honestly am like just a huge fan of these guys, and I'm going to play some tunes. Still got that Eyes of the Dead. Got to get to that. I can't really play Eyes of the Dead right behind Wings of Apollo. It's just not going to work out, you know what I mean? So we'll get to that in just a little while. We still got the news. Still got to find out where the fuck Mutch is, so I'm going to see if I can't get him maybe on the air and find out what the fuck happened. But until then, here is some Wings of Apollo. Off their brand new album By Force, here is the title track, By Force. And it's right here on Official Fucking New Radio, OFNR. We'll be back in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
Call me the one, final return of a fallen
Jesse Korby. I'm a guitar player and singer from Wings of Apollo, and you're listening to officialfnradio.com.
Yep, that's what you're listening to. We just talked to Jesse Korby and David Martin of Wings of Apollo. You guys should check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/Wings of Apollo, or go to wingsofapollo.com. We just played two
for Tuesday.
Two songs from the brand new album By Force. We played The Water and By Force from that album. You can go get it for free or pay what you think it's worth. It's worth more than free, let me tell you. I fucking love those guys, man. Truly, I do. It's 10:03 here at Official Fucking New Radio. Still have no idea where the fuck Mutch is. I hit up Adam Rushka of Into the Coven to see if maybe he knew where Mutch was, but then he logged out, so I don't know where the fuck he went either. Feel like I'm getting maybe getting shaft here. What the fuck? All right, couple quick things. Next week we've got Chasm calling in, November the 18th. Chasm. Tuesday, November the 25th. She Walks Without Legs. We haven't talked to them since the Nation of Decimation, since Keith was still in the band. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Keith leaving the band and whether or not they've got a replacement. I mean, I haven't seen them live since, but for no reason but because I don't really go out to many shows these days because of the kids and the work and the thing. So I can't wait to catch up with She Walks Without Legs. Then, of course, we take a December winter break. No shows for December. We'll be playing reruns, repeats, rewinds, whatever you want to call them, of Knob and the Mutch throughout the month of December. In January, we return, hopefully. As long as Mutch is, like, okay. I don't have his phone number. I'm trying to figure out if I can get him on the line. Oh, look, here's the phone number. I'm going to call him. Thank you, Adam. I'm going to call him right now and find out what the hell happened, man. I don't know if he's all right. I want to make sure he's okay, like he's not stranded on the road somewhere, because I'll go pick him up. I mean, I'll bring him to his house. I mean, he doesn't have to come here. It's 10 o'clock. I mean, we're just about over with the show. We got about another hour to go. We got so much new music to get to still. I'm going to try to get through it all. If I miss it, don't worry. I will definitely get to it in the coming weeks. So much new music to get to still. Still got to play some new Eyes of the Dead. Did not get a chance to do that just yet, but I will. Let me see if I can get the Mutch on the line and see about what the hell's going on here. Yo, Mutch, it's Knob. About 10 o'clock here at the OFNR studios. Your last status said that you were coming. That was like 2 or 3 hours ago. I just wanted to make sure that everything is cool, man. Everything is all right. That you're not like stranded somewhere or hurt or anything like that. I know your car's been kind of giving you some weird troubles. Just wanted to make sure everything was cool. If you get this before 11, give me a call. If not, text me, drop me a Facebook, do something. Let me know everything is cool at the very least. Again, it's Knob from OFNR. Just want to make sure everything is okay. Give me a holler. Later. 203-794-6367. 203-794-OFNR if you want to call me back. Okay. So there's that. All right. So a couple quick things that I didn't get to earlier. AC/DC drummer Phil Rudd was charged with attempting to procure a murder, possession of cannabis and methamphetamine, and threatening to kill. However, after just 24 hours after the initial filing, the most serious charge has been dropped. The procure a murder charge, filed by the New Zealand police, has been dropped, but all the other charges remain. Obviously, Phil Rudd going to be in some serious hot water. He's going to fight the charge of threatening to kill, going to fight the charge of possession. Those are minor charges, according to his attorneys. But, man almighty. Didn't you learn anything from Lambesis? I mean, that dude got into some serious trouble for trying to procure a murder. You know what I'm saying? Little Big O and Zoot in the background. I want to shout out to Zoot real quick. apparently might be working on a brand new song. He did the Indie Ignition theme way back when. Maybe doing an All Hail Knob song is what he was saying, which would be kind of cool. Be pretty interesting to hear that. Some may be wondering where the fuck Paco is. I was wondering that myself. I mean, Mutch is missing, Paco's missing. It's very strange what's been going on tonight. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. I did, however, at least with Paco, I got this weird voicemail earlier. And let me let you guys listen to this. Check this out.
You have 6 new messages and 14 old messages.
Man, I hope this is the right number. Knob and the Mutch, addressing it to you guys. Just wanted to let you know, I got into a little bit of trouble recently, and they asked me to produce my green card, and I couldn't do it, so they're going to deport me to Cuba, which is strange, because I was born in America, and yet they're gonna deport me to Cuba. I'm not really sure what the fuck is going on, but this was my one phone call. I'm just calling to let you guys know that I won't be doing the band libs tonight because I'm getting deported. So I just wanted to let you fuckers know, and Paco Suave out.
That was on the OFNR voicemail earlier. Paco Suave deported to Cuba, which is kind of strange. I mean, the guy is totally from America, so it's a little weird that he got deported, Awfully strange. But anyway, no Paco tonight. So I wanted to let you guys know about that, where he was. Couple other quick things. I re-released the OFNR Stompilation Volume 1. It's available for free download once again via official fucking new radio, OFNRforever.com, officialfnradio.com. Go get it for free. It's funny, too, because, talking about Wings of Apollo, they are the very first track on the disc. Bourbon Street. There's also some rare Blastoma, some acoustic Two-Fisted Law, and Not the Kid. Not the Kid no longer a band, so you can only get that here at OFNR. There's some live performance from Odd Zero, who are also no longer a band. Trial by Terror's on there, and so much other stuff. Very, very cool. Go check it out. It's free. I mean, look, it came out in like 2011 or some craziness, and we put it out for free then. It's still free. Go get it. Download it. It's got album cover art and everything. It's OFNR Stompilation Volume 1 in the new year, 2015. Hopefully we will finish the Stompilation Volume 2. It's only been 3 years in the making. We've got music from Finland on there. We've got some brand new stuff from Enemy of Reason that they're finishing up, which is why we haven't put it out. So brand new Stompilation coming out soon. Keep it locked. Just shouting out back to Adam. No, he did not show up, dude. He didn't show up. He didn't call it in anything. All right, some other quick things, and then we'll play some tunes, brand new music. We still got the news to get to, so keep it locked for that. It is November, and last week we should have probably done this because it's the second week of November now, but we didn't get a chance. Today's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there, past, present, and future. Quick shout-outs to Mr. Woods and Video Bill, former OFNR alum. Video Bill, of course, OFNR Forever. He's got the tattoo on his bicep. He was actually the second person to get a tattoo, me being the last. Can you imagine that? Evil Steve was the first. R.I.P. Evil Steve. Quick shout-outs to him. He actually had gotten a tattoo on his ass. Me and the Vixen, or the Vixen and I, New Jersey Vixen and I, were on the air talking about Evil Steve getting a tattoo at Rich Teofilo's, also R.I.P., and we were joking that, Rich should put Vixen and OFNR on Steve's ass, and then Steve did it. So he was the first ever to get the OFNR tattoo, OFNR Forever. Even though he's passed away, he's still OFNR Forever. Fucking love Evil Steve. But shout-outs to Video Bill, OFNR Forever, and, of course, Mr. Woods, one of the originals, one of the OG motherfuckers of OFNR, part of the Neil and Bob days, part of the inception of OFNR. Without Mr. Woods, OFNR would not be what OFNR be. We talked to him back on the 8-year anniversary show, which we only did like an hour of because I got really sick that night. very strange. Anyway, here are some other bizarre and unique holidays for November 2014. It's Aviation History Month, Child Safety Protection Month, International Drum Month, so if you're a drummer, beat those drums like they owe you money. National Adoption Awareness Month, National Epilepsy Awareness Month, National Model Railroad Month. Maybe that's where Mutch is. Playing with his model railroad. National Novel Writing Month. Got one in me. I definitely got to get going. Native American Heritage Month, which I wish I had known earlier, because when I was talking to Jesse Korby about his headdress, we could have touched on that briefly. Peanut Butter Lovers Month. Not Peanut Butter Game Lovers Month. There's a difference there, okay? Real Jewelry Month, as opposed to Fake Jewelry Month. And National Sleep Comfort Month. What's your sleep comfort number? I don't know. All right, so today's the 11th. It's Veterans Day. It's also Young Readers Day. If you got a young reader, make sure you read to them. It's very helpful. Tomorrow's Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. On the 13th, it's National Indian Pudding Day. Not sure what Indian pudding is, but there's a national holiday for it. It's also Sadie Hawkins Day and World Kindness Day. On the 14th, it's Operating Room Nurse Day. So say thank you to operating room nurses. It's also World Diabetes Day. So if you're getting checked out for your diabetes and you have a room nurse, make sure you say thank you and happy Operating Room Nurse Day on the 14th. On the 15th, it's Clean Your Refrigerator Day, which is probably good for me because the 14th I get paid and I should probably clean out my refrigerator so I can make room for all the new food. It's also American Recycling Day, which kind of goes together with Clean Your Refrigerator Day, as you might want to recycle some of the stuff you found in your refrigerator. On the 16th, it's Button Day. If you got some buttons, wear them. 27 pieces of flair, to be exact. Might even be 47 pieces of flair. Not quite sure. The minimum requirement is at least 7 pieces of flair. On the 16th, also have a Party with Your Bear Day, which I find hysterical. I got to remember that and send that to Bear of Jimmy Junkbird and the Stiffs, who I still owe a goddamn record review or album review of. I'm just an asshole. If you want to check out a cool album review, go check out the brand new compilation from Alternative Control. We got a full detailed song-by-song lineup review for you up on official effing radio, OFNRforever.com. You can also go chat there. We've made some changes to the OFNR website, so check them out. Let me know what you think. You like, you don't like, whatever. Let me know. We got the chat room right there on the front page. Taking some tips from the new Rego Radio, where DJ Perlman of Revel 9 does his show. Make sure I got enough tunage here in the background. This is some Silent Bed in the background right here. Okay, let's see. I need to add a track because otherwise we're going to have music playing, and I don't want to do that. Okay, we got it. All right, good. Let me do that right meow. And then we're going to play some Eyes of the Dead in just a little bit after we do this, and we'll get to the news. Still got some brand new music from other bands we'll get to in just a little bit. On the 17th of November, it's Electronic Greeting Card Day. It's also Homemade Bread Day. On the 17th, it's Take a Hike Day. On the 18th, Occult Day. If you're into the occult, that's a good day to celebrate. On the 19th, it's Have a Bad Day Day. So maybe you want to have a bad day. On the 20th, it's Absurdity Day. So be absurd. It's also American Smokeout, the Great American Smokeout. I know my brother will be smoking some fatties that day. God damn, those things look good. And I'm not talking about herb, I'm talking about meat, beef. On the 21st, it's False Confessions Day. So basically lie, make up things. On the 20th, it's Go for a Ride Day. Get in your car and go somewhere that you wouldn't normally go. On the 22nd, National Adoption Day. So if you're thinking about maybe adopting a child or a fur baby, the 22nd of November would be a good day to do that. 23rd, it's Eat a Cranberry Day. 24th, nothing. 25th, National Parfait Day. Ain't nothing quite like a parfait, Shrek. Parfait got layers. Much better than onion. On the 27th, of course, it's Thanksgiving here in America. Eat, drink, and be thankful. If you're going shopping that day, fuck you. I didn't want to get into that. Maybe next week we'll talk more about Black Friday because it'll be a little closer. Fucking can't stand it. That's the 28th, of course. It's Black Friday. 28th is also Buy Nothing Day. Does anyone abide by Buy Nothing Day? No. People will go out in droves on Black Friday, and people will die on Black Friday. There have been 7 reported deaths over the years due to Black Friday. 7. And so many goddamn fucking injuries. Gotta be ridiculous. Go check out Death Clock, Black Friday Death Clock or something like that. I'll get the site for you in a little bit. It's also Red Planet Day on the 28th, so praise Mars. On the 29th, Square Dance Day, and on the 30th, Stay at Home Day because you're well. So don't take a sick day, take a well day on the 30th. Of course, it's Sunday, so maybe you just want to chill and be home and check it out. And there you go. Those are your wacky holidays from holidayinsights.com. holidayinsights.com. Alrighty then. It's 10:20 here at the OFNR studios. We still got a little while to go, about 40 minutes to go. Still got a shit ton of new music to get to, man. I gotta get to some of this new music. I really do. So let me do that right now. First and foremost, we talked to Matt way earlier in the show, and I was gonna play some goddamn Eyes of the Dead, and then the guys from Wings of Apollo called, so I couldn't play Eyes of the Dead. So I'm gonna get to that. We're gonna play that. Got brand new Scorn on deck. Gonna play that. And then a band from across the pond. Where? You're gonna have to keep it locked. Who? You're gonna have to keep it locked. When? You're gonna have to keep it fucking locked. It's Fisher fucking New Radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
condescending smile as he closed his book.
graceful moment go to waste. Taste the magic of blow paste. So give that salty sausage a peppermint taste with the magic of blow paste. Freshen up the job before you turn out the lights, and get a pearl necklace to go with your pearly whites. If you want to make his day and put a smile on his face, taste the magic of blow paste.
It is time. Oh yes, it is time right now for Knobs News Corner.
It is time for the news. Really quickly, I'll tell you what we just played. That right there was Divine Disorder from Kuwait. That's right. Middle Eastern progressive metal. Divine Disorder. Go check them out on Facebook.com/Divine Disorder, or check out our full detailed program for the links in a few days. Before Divine Disorder, we got brand new Scorn in the mix. Bloodlust and Suicide from Scorn. Go check them out right now on Facebook, Reverb Nation, and all the other fun places. Before all that, we started it off with Eyes of the Dead. Brand fucking new Eyes of the Dead. Coming out this Saturday. 4 days away. Go to that show. Bleachers, fucking Bristol. $5, 5 bands, 2 CDs being released at the same time. You're not going to want to miss it. Amazing. All right. It's time for the news right here on Official Fucking New Radio. Still no idea where the fuck Mutch is. Really have no goddamn clue. No idea. Knobs News. A new, different clan. A Montana-based wing of the Ku Klux Klan is making history by opening its membership rolls to a number of groups whom the white supremacy terror group has historically worked to subjugate. Blacks, whites, gays, straights, Jews, Christians, all welcome in the new clan. Seems kind of, ass backwards if you ask me. The notoriously racist white supremacist group has decided to undergo a rebranding. We talked about this a few months ago with the Bagman. They will leave behind the legacy of burning crosses, lynching African Americans, and committing other horrific racist attacks. But the new, more expansive group, however, known as the Rocky Mountain Knights, is meant to be a subsection of the KKK. John Albar, a KKK member, spearheaded the rebranding effort after reportedly having discussions with the National Association for Advancement of Colored People. His goal is that the new group will help create a stronger and better America. White supremacy is the old clan, he says. This here is the new clan. It was thought was a really good organization. I don't feel we need to be separate. Despite the supposed rebranding, all members of Albar's Rocky Mountain Knights will have to wear the KKK traditional white robes, masks, and pointed hats. A uniform that historically has conjured up images of hate, persecution, and terror. So as much as they want to rebrand, I just don't see it. Maybe you should just drop the KKK moniker altogether. Start something new. Just a thought. Moving on. Sir, you don't have tickets for that train of thought, do you? This one close to home. Connecticut. A model and actor was badly disfigured and is fighting for his life after catching fire when he climbed atop a Manhattan-bound Metro North train on Sunday. That's right. He did a little train surfing at the very top of the fucking train. The only problem is, train runs on overhead electrical wires. So when you fucking surf the train with overhead electrical wires, you could get electrocuted, you dumb fuck. Video taken at Stanford Rail Station shows the intoxicated Brian McClellan, 21, climbing on top of the train and trying to surf it. When the train lost power, the workers had gone to find out why, and they found Brian McClellan. I don't really feel bad for the guy, honestly. You gotta be some kind of stupid to train surf on an electrical train where the electrical wires are overhead in the line of your surfing. You, sir, deserve a Darwin Award, but you'll get an honorable mention this time around. You dumb fucking idiot. Speaking of dumb fucking idiots, moving on, meth! Not even, god damn it, why are you so fucking stupid? California one woman, had 27 pounds of methamphetamine hidden in her car. Well, she successfully got through customs. So you'd say to yourself, gee, Knob, why are you calling her a fucking idiot? Well, she got through customs checkpoint, then mistakenly drove her vehicle into the lot reserved for suspect vehicles. That's right, she got away with it. But then for some fucked up reason, drove her vehicle onto the lot reserved for suspect vehicles, and then, of course, the vehicle was fucking searched. Found 17 packages of meth concealed in the 2008 Ford Focus rear quarter panels. Secondary inspection involves a more thorough questioning of the driver, closer inspection of the vehicle, and canine review. Secondary inspection is usually ordered due to the suspicions of an agent who first contacted the driver, as well as any passengers. However, this time around, the first contact didn't see anything suspicious, didn't think of anything suspicious, let her through. She then fucking drives into the goddamn lot where they fucking check the goddamn cars, only to fucking get her 17 goddamn packages of concealed methamphetamine fucking confiscated, and she gets to go to jail, directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are a stupid fuck. Moving on. Driving Miss Doggy. A Victorian woman who was run over when her dog bumped the handbrake of her car has been awarded $140,000 worth of compensation. That's right. If your dog runs over your fucking head, you can get $140,000 worth of fucking money from your insurance company in Australia. Victoria's Transport Accident Commission, or TAC for short, offered the compensation to the woman who suffered injuries to her hip, shoulder, back, and neck. My back, and my neck. Woman from southwest Melbourne was walking her dogs just before the accident. She loaded the pets into the back seat of her car and one into the front passenger seat. The engine was running, the power was on, and the woman went to get into the driver's seat, and the dog bumped the handbrake and ran her over. Woman was in her 60s, was caught in the door, dragged along the car, and then got run over by the vehicle. Of course, the lawyer says the case was incredibly unusual. She walked into the office and simply said, "I was run over by my dog." I literally did think I've heard it all now, says the lawyer in Cunningham. TAC offered her $143,590 no-fault injury compensation on top of medical expenses and income entitlements. In-fucking-sane. Your dog ran you over and you get $143,000. I should let my dog run over me. My luck, I'd fucking actually get killed or some shit. That's the news. Brought to you in part by Blow Paste each and every week. Get Blow Paste. Get the taste of dick out of her mouth. CheekyChaCha.com. Blow Paste. Go and get it. It's a mouthwash. It's a lube. It's a fucking toothpaste. It is so many things all in one. And it is incredible. I can safely attest to that personally. Fucking incredible product. Go get yourself some from CheekyChaCha.com. Blow Paste. There's the news. All right, it is time for some last bit of music. Promised you all kinds of new tunes. I'm going to deliver on my promise. Got coming up on deck to end off the show this evening. Music from Leverage, Thea, and this band, I Guard the Throne, brand new to OFNR. Name of the track is Rituals of Dying. Rituals of a Dying Man, sorry. It's time. I'll see you guys next week. We've got Chasm calling in after a 10-year hiatus. Tune in every Tuesday night. Knob and the Mutch. Maybe it's just the Knob Show. Not quite sure. Good night.
Walking through these corridors of life, all of your memories that are written on the wall, and you look to love, disappearing time. For the way you go, I'm stuck in this forsaken world. Will you return? Between life and death, will finally put you at rest. The days grow longer, and your life gets shorter. You look down your window towards the season's gate. Your suffering mind leaves you paralyzed, and you look round this world, pieces to toys. You want to leave this world mesmerized by your hatred for this world, your ritual. You made it, you declare, no choice, I'm a man of two dark sides. Don't need restraint, but don't get in my way. We don't need your help and we don't want your freedom. I'm not saying I don't feel pain. Can't say I don't suffer bad times. I can help show you the way. Wake up, we're alive. I'll feel the pain, let's go insane. Hand me that gun and I'll play with the trigger. I'm not saying I don't feel pain. Can't say I don't suffer bad times. I can help show you the way. Wake up, we're alive. I know that we'll feel pain to have had my bad times. I can help show